I am out in the orchard today, which feels fantastic. I have not been out here in a little bit. I was out here a little bit earlier ripping up the landscape fabric that we used this year. I've got to get this up. My husband is going to be composting everything and putting in like a bunch of soil additives and things. We had our soil tested and it's really low in a couple of things, so we're gonna try to fix that this year. Plus, this was first year garden. First year garden doesn't always do very well because we moved it to a new spot. So the soil isn't really built up and really hardy. So the plan is to fill this with as much as we can to get the best soil that we can for next garden season. That being said, I have to finish ripping up all my plastic here and get it all picked up and thrown away. Can't be having that. Joe went ahead and like mowed down my garden for me so that I could get the plastic up, and then I'm going to try to get the wood chips kind of spread out a little bit. And then over the next couple of days we're going to lay some compost down. There's some compost in that bag. I might just open that up and run it up and down the roads. We're going to see what we can get done. Baby's napping. I have the baby monitor with me. My toddler is running around behind me here, and my big kids get off the bus in about an hour. So let's see if I can get this done in an hour's time. I should be able to, but you never know. So let's go ahead and get started. I think what I'm actually gonna do really quick is I'm gonna go around the corner and get our harvest wagon. That way I can put all this plastic in the harvest wagon right away. That way I'm not picking it up and moving it like 10 times. So I'm gonna go grab that wagon. It looks like I have a whole bunch of friends joining me today. They're all running in. That's pretty much all I needed to get done today. Feels good. A quick, easy project. On my way in, I'm going to go into the chicken coop, get some eggs because I haven't done that yet today. So let's go grab that, and that took me way less time than I thought it was going to. Literally took me 8 minutes. I don't know why I thought that was going to take me so much longer to do, but feels good to get it done nonetheless, and it's just one step closer to getting things put away for the winter. Next, I am going to grab some of my tomato cages that I have here. We're gonna get those in the shop, and I'm gonna walk around and find any of my hoes and shovels and things. And I think I'm gonna get those put away in the shop too, just kind of adding to the things of getting things ready to go to bed for the I also found these 2 eggplants in the shop. I think what happened is my neighbor probably came over to talk to my husband, and he brought them over, and my husband forgot them in the shop. So I'm going to make sure I carry these in. One is a little soft, but that's okay. We'll still be able to use it. It'll be just fine. Look what I found! This can go to bed. And I think I'm actually going to leave the shovel for when we're shoveling off compost and stuff. We might want that. So I'm going to leave that here for now, but this sprinkler head on the T-post can definitely get put away for the winter. Joe has been taking care of the trees over the last couple of days, and he gave each tree a nice scoop of this. It's a bloom boost. All of our trees really needed this. So he takes care of all of our trees. That's his department. But he gave everybody a good scoop of this. And then he also went ahead and made a compost tea out of our duck water. Bird! He also went ahead and made a compost tea out of our duck water with a little bit of molasses, and I cannot remember what it's called. I'll put it up on the screen here. It's I think it's called Neptune's Harvest actually. And he mixed that all together, made a little bit of a concoction. I will talk to him and ask him what his recipe is, and I will either put it up on the screen or I will put it in the description box below. But then he went and watered all the trees with that, and it's only been 2 days and things already look a lot better. The trees were getting some diseases on them and some leaf curl, so they're already looking much better. Awesome. So he's been taking care of that, getting things kind of prepped to go to bed for the winter as well. London and I also harvested all of the potatoes yesterday with her help. It went by so quickly, so that was really great. All the potatoes are in, which is just like one more thing off of the list as well, and that was something I was really worried that we weren't going to get to because it kept raining and kept raining and kept raining. So I was waiting for a couple days of some drier weather to dry it out a little bit. So that worked out really well. We got that done as well. And now the chickens do their part, and they'll spread out some of that compost here and dig in it a little bit. The ducks too. That's why I'm not too worried about spreading it out super perfect. Plus Joe is going to dump way more compost on top of this. I'm hoping to get a couple inches of compost on top of this. The other thing I have been doing is saving all of our eggshells from the chickens and the ducks and all of my coffee grounds and putting them in a gallon mason jar. And basically every day or two, whenever it's full, I will come out here and dump it. Need a bowl. And I will dump it right on the garden, right into the soil there. And that'll naturally help build up the calcium, which our soil is really low in, and the coffee grounds will boost the acidity, which we also really need. Plus, throughout the winter, while Joe is fishing and things, I will take all those fish carcasses after we fillet them, and all those fish carcasses will also go right into the garden bed or in the soil, either in the raised beds or down in the soil down here to decompose throughout the winter. And then in the spring, we'll till it up with everything else, and that'll act as like fish meal or fish bones, all those things. Also calcium building and all those good things. There's like a natural thing to build up our soil. But we've been having to collect eggs about 2 times a day because otherwise we have some hens who really like to sit on them, and we don't have roosters anymore. We used to have 2 roosters. We ended up harvesting both of them, so we don't have them anymore, but we still got to make sure they're not sitting on these eggs because they'll start to spoil underneath the hens. Kind of like this girl right here. You got any eggs under there, girl? This is what we've got. So we'll get this carried in with our eggplant. And then really randomly, I must have missed a couple of these smaller onions when I was harvesting onions. So I found these today when I was pulling up the tarp. So we'll bring these in too. Little couple bonus onions. Not too shabby for pretty much the first week of October, especially when I didn't put a lot of time or effort into the garden this year, but got a little bit more time now, so we're just gonna do what we can to make it better for next year, and sometimes that's really all you can do. The very last thing I want to do today before the kids get off the bus is today is actually one of my older daughter's birthdays. I'm gonna go down to the flower bed where they planted zinnia seeds and things like that, and I'm gonna harvest her a little bouquet with pint mason jar here. But the trick is I have to leave enough flowers because my oldest daughter's birthday is next week, so I want to do the same thing for her next week. So I'm gonna pick through these and pick some of the ones that I think she would really like and leave the ones that I think my oldest daughter would really like for next week, so I can do the same thing for her. Why these flowers took so long to like germinate and take off, they just popped up probably 2 weeks ago, but it's actually working out because now we have like fresh, really beautiful looking zinnias. Of course we have some bug pressure in here, but not too bad because they're still pretty fresh. So I think I'm gonna take some of these purple ones, and they're all so tiny. They're like mini little zinnias. They're so beautiful. But I'm gonna take some of the pink and the purple ones, and I think I'm gonna try to leave the orangey ones and the yellow ones for my oldest daughter because she likes those. So let's harvest a little bouquet, shall we? Here's Lakin's little flower arrangement. Super cute. And there's still plenty of flowers for next week, which is great. These 2 front beds are pretty much put to bed. I'm going to put some like anti-caking thing that I found on here. It's just like it's kind of like a compost that you put on here, but it helps loosen the soil back up. So I'm still debating if I want to do that this fall or if I want to do it in the spring. But I just got to rip up these couple plants here. I'm kind of just leaving them because like these marigolds are just now coming up, and we planted those in the spring too. So I don't really know what happened with these raised beds. They just took forever to get going. So this one too, but our tomatoes got pretty tall on it, and so did our watermelon and our pumpkins, even though they didn't produce. Well, technically our watermelons did produce, but Cleo found them and ripped the watermelons off of the vine before they were ripe. I will probably plant them there again next year, and hopefully they will do better. Okay, so I remembered I had a mason jar full of eggs from breakfast this morning and my coffee grounds. So I've just been kind of dumping them down here. And the second I do it, you're gonna see the chickens and the ducks come running. That's totally fine. They'll help break them apart, break them down. But that's what I've been doing, just trying to build up the soil naturally and without a ton of extra things on it. And it's cheap. It's just their chicken scraps and their waste. So might as well put them to good use. So there's that. Being said, that's everything I wanted to get done today. I hope that you guys enjoyed putting things to bed with me a little bit. We've been talking about this a lot in videos recently. This time of year, things can get really busy, and then all of a sudden everything comes to a complete halt all at once. So it's kind of like that last leg pushing through to get things done. So that's what we're doing in these videos, pushing through, trying to close things up for the year. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out with me today, checking things off of my to-do list, and I will see you guys in another one. Bye.